Tonight we would like to remember who? Akhiq al-Hussein, Abul Fadl al-Abbas. Inshallah, bear with me tonight, for the Masayib of Abbas is a difficult Masayib for Baneen to hear. It's a difficult Masayib for Sayyidah Fatima to hear. They say on the 9th of Muharram, like tonight, the eve of Ashura, Sayyidah Zainab comes to Abul Fadl Abbas and she says, "Oh Abbas, can I tell you a story?" He says, "Of course." She says, "Abbas, you know, when our mother Fatima had passed away, years later, Amir al-Mu'mineen came to his brother Aqil, the father of Muslim ibn Aqil, and he said, Aqil, I want you to find me a woman from a tribe that is known for their bravery, that is known for their valor, that is known for their courage." So Aqil says, "Ya Ali, why?" He says that so that I may produce a son from her that will help my brother Hussein. When Abul Fadl Abbas came into this world, Amir al-Mu'mineen held him and he began kissing the hands of Abbas and he began to cry. Baneen would say, "Ya Ali, you are crying. Is there something wrong with Abbas? Is there something wrong with his hands?" Amir al-Mu'mineen said, "No, Baneen, this child is perfect. But this child is the dua of Zahra and his only purpose is the day of Ashura. Abbas, you were created for tomorrow." Sayyidah Zainab is saying to her brother, "You are created for tomorrow. Tomorrow is your day." So they say that once all the companions had fought and the Ahlul Bayt were now fighting, when all of the Ahlul Bayt were done, when Abbas saw the death toll rising, he stood up and ordered his brothers to enter the battlefield. His brothers fought and were killed. It was now time for Abbas himself to enter the battle. He came to Imam Hussein seeking permission to go fight. He said to the Imam, "Oh my brother Hussein, oh my master Hussein," never called him brother, "Oh my master Hussein, can you please give me permission to go and fight?" Imam Hussein would begin to cry. Tears filled the eyes of Hussein. He would say what? He would say, "Akhi anta hamilu liwa'i," "Oh my brother, you are the bearer of my flag. If you die, my entire army will collapse and my enemies will rejoice." Abbas replied back by saying, "Oh Hussein, oh Master Sayyidi, I am tired of these hypocrites. I cannot stand the sounds of the children crying out of thirst. Their cries of Al-Atash is killing me." When Imam Hussein saw Abbas adamant about fighting, he said to him, "My brother, in kana wala bud fadlu bliha ula'il atfal sharbatam min al-ma." Oh Abbas, if you must, then go and get some water for these thirsty children. Abbas immediately mounts his horse. As he's about to leave to go towards the battlefield, Abul Fadl Abbas did not say goodbye to Sayyidah Zainab. Abul Fadl Abbas did not say goodbye to Kulthum. Why? Because Abbas wasn't going to fight. They expected Abbas to come back. Abbas was only going to get water. He wasn't going to fight. So he didn't say goodbye to his sisters. All of a sudden, Abul Fadl Abbas enters into the battlefield. He arrives at the river of Furat. As Abbas arrives, he disperses the enemy. He goes into the river. At this moment, Abul Fadl Abbas extends his hands into the river of Furat. He picks up the water, the cold water of the Euphrates. He brings it close towards his lips. He feels the coolness of the water. Some people from the stage say that Abbas wanted to drink, then he remembered the thirst of Hussein. I say no. When did Abbas ever forget the thirst of Hussein? For him to remember the thirst of Hussein, Abbas only remembered Hussein. Imam Zain al-Abidin says that at this moment, when Abul Fadl Abbas had arrived, his heart was burning like charcoal. Nobody would have blamed Abbas if he took a sip to drink. But what did Abul Fadl Abbas do? The enemies are looking. What's Abbas going to do? All of a sudden, Abul Fadl Abbas throws the water back into the river and he begins to fill his container. Then Abul Fadl Abbas begins to scold himself. What does he say? He says, "Ya nafs min ba'dil Hussein huni wa ba'dahu ma kunti aw takuni hadha Husaynun waridul المنون وتشربين بارد المعين. Abbas says, how can I drink when Hussein is still thirsty? Remember this phrase, how can I drink when Hussein is still thirsty? Because at the end, I'm going to mention this again. So what does Abbas do? He fills the container. He mounts his horse. He's thinking of Sakina. He's going towards the camp. All of a sudden, Umar ibn Sa'ad says, if the water reaches the camp of Hussein, they will not spare anyone else. So what? Strike Abbas. So Hakim ibn Tufail and Zayd ibn al-Raqad, may Allah's lanat be on both of these, were hiding behind palm trees, awaiting for Abbas to approach. Zayd struck Abbas on his right arm, immediately severing it off. Abbas called out, Wallah inka tahtamu yamini, inni ohami abadan an dini, wa an imamin sadiq al-yakini, sibt al-nabiy al-tahir al-amini. He then put the container in his left arm until Hakim came out and severed the left arm of Abbas as well. Abbas called out, Ya nafsu la takhshay min al-kuffari. Abbas, do not fear the disbelievers. You are on the true path, O Abbas. At this moment, Abbas is now holding the water skin with his teeth. As he's going back towards the camp of Hussein, they fire 300 arrows towards Abul Fadl al-Abbas. But Abbas says, out of those 300 arrows, only 3 arrows hurt me the most. Which ones, Ya Abbas? He says, the first arrow, fi aini, the arrow that hit me in my eye. He says, that hurt me. The second one, fi sadri, the arrow that pierced my heart. But Abbas says the arrow that hurt me the most was which arrow? He says it was the third arrow that pierced the water skin. As the water began flowing on the grounds of Karbala, Abul Fadl Abbas is what? He was perplexed. He didn't know what to do. I can't go to the camp and have no water. I can't go back to the river. I have no arms. What am I going to say to Sakina? As Abbas is thinking about this, he wants to remove the arrow from his eye, but he doesn't have any hands. How does Abbas remove the arrow? The Muqs of the Maqtal say that Abul Fadl Abbas leaned down to use his knees to remove the arrow from his eye. When Abbas leant down, his helmet fell. When the helmet of Abul Fadl Abbas fell onto the ground, he has nothing to protect his head. All of a sudden, one of the enemy members comes forward. He strikes a blow with a metal pole on the head of Abul Fadl al-Abbas to such an extent that Abbas falls off his horse. And this is the moment we say what? We say that whenever a man falls from the horse, how does he shield that fall? He uses his hands. Abbas has no hands. So how does Abbas fall? He falls onto his face. When Abul Fadl Abbas fell for the first time in his life, Sayyidi, Mawlai, Aba Abdullah, but for the first time in his life, Abul Fadl Abbas said what? He said, Akhi adrik akhak. Oh brother, come and rescue your brother. At that moment, Aba Abdullah says what? In kathara dhahri, my back has now been broken with your fall, O Abbas. I, Hussein, cannot walk straight. At that moment, Imam Hussein arrives at the body of Abul Fadl Abbas. He has an arrow in one eye. He has what? Blood in the other eye. As he hears footsteps, Abbas doesn't know who's coming. So Abul Fadl Abbas says, oh man, whoever you are, don't cut my head off. Why? Until my master Hussein arrives first. Then you can kill me. At this moment, Imam Hussein comes, he sits down onto the ground, he takes the head of Abbas, he says, oh my brother Abbas, it is me, your brother Hussein, I am here. He says, Aba Abdullah, when I was born, the first person I saw was you. Now that I am leaving, I can't see you. If you're not going to cry tonight, when are you going to cry? The veils of Zainab are going to be leaving right now. What did he say? I can't see you, oh my brother. So Abu Abdullah said, why? He says, there's an arrow in one eye. There's a blood in one eye. Abu Abdullah removes the blood. Abbas looks at Abu Abdullah. He offers his final salams. Imam Hussein says, Abbas, do you have any final requests? Do you have any last hajat? He said, yes. What is that? He says, all the bodies that you used to pick up from the battlefield, you used to take them back to the camp. Oh, Abba Abdullah, I beg you, please don't take my body back to the camp. Why? I am ashamed. Why are you ashamed, Abbas? He says, because Sakina asked for water. I was not able to provide that water. Leave me here. So Abba Abdullah leaves the body of Abbas. He goes back towards where the tents. Sakina is now looking. What does she see? She sees the flag, the alam of Abbas coming. So she gathers all the children together. She says, come, 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 my uncle Abbas is coming. He's going to quench our thirst. But as Imam Hussein was coming closer, it wasn't Abul Fadl Abbas, it was Abba Abdullah al-Hussein. So Sakina begins to cry. She says, oh my father, where is my Ammi Abbas? Where is my uncle Abbas? Abba Abdullah didn't say anything. Sakina says something that breaks our heart. She says, oh father, is my uncle gone because I asked for water? Is he gone because of me? Am I the reason? I promise I will never ask for water again. Just give me my uncle back. The Imam says nothing. Sayyidah Zainab comes out. Oh, brother Hussein, where is Abbas? The Imam says nothing. He walks to the tents of Abbas. What does he do? There's a pillar, a pole that's holding up the tent of Abbas. Imam Hussein grabs the pole. He removes it. The tent collapses. This is his way of saying what? This is his way of saying Abbas is gone. When Ali Akbar died, the women said, Wa Akbara. When Qasim died, they said, Wa Qasima. When Muhammad died, they said, Wa Auna wa Muhammada. But when Abul Fadl Abbas died, they didn't say Wa Abbasa. No, what did they say? They say Wa Hijaba. Our hijab is now gone. They say that whenever, and inshallah the final statement is what? They say that whenever a martyr in Karbala died, Rasulullah and Imam Ali would bring them water. Where? From the pools of Kauthar. Right? Ali Akbar said what? Hada Jaddi Rasulullah. My grandfather is here. He's given me water. Whenever somebody dies, they drink water. Why do we say that when it comes to Wafa, Rabbi Wafa is Abul Fadl Abbas? Why did he have this title? They say that Rasulullah and Amirul Mu'mineen came to Abul Fadl Abbas. They said, oh Abbas, now that you have received martyrdom, now that you have died, oh Abbas, take a sip of water. Abbas would look towards Rasulullah. He would say, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Nafs, min ba'dil Husayni huni. I, Abbas, cannot drink while Hussein is still thirsty. Even though I have left this world, I will not drink until Abba Abdullah comes to heaven with me.